Hey there, guys. So I got something pretty different for you here. This is actually a Flash game called Pokemon. What is this called? Pokemon Tower Defense. Sorry. Um, Basically, if you've ever played any other tower defense games, this is exactly what that is. Here you can see me making a new profile. I'm gonna go into story mode and just go ahead and start. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and say this is not a let's play. This is just gonna be like a playthrough. Um, just to show you how to do everything. You know, if you want to see, if you want to read the plot stuff, you're gonna have to pause it on the plot screens. I'm not really focusing on that. I'm just focusing on the game mechanics. So you know, pick a version, pick a starter. I picked Bulbasaur this time. My other file, I have Squirtle, and honestly, I found Squirtle a lot. Um, I found it a lot better for the first to I found it a lot easier to do the first couple levels with Squirtle. But basically, how it works is, you know, you put a Pokemon out there. You can pick its attacks by clicking on it down there in the bottom screen. Um, when you get a Pokemon, one of the other enemy invading Pokemon, down into red health, you can catch it with a Pokeball. Just click and drag the Pokeball over to it, and you'll catch it. Um, Basically, I mean, you get the gist of it. The Rattatas are trying to take my rare candies. That's how it works. You got to kill all the Rattatas before they take your rare candy. So, yeah, here you can see me trying to catch. I was confused why I wasn't catching these, but then I realized it was because they weren't in red health. But yeah, they managed to get away with one of the rare candies here. This first Professor Oak level is basically just a tutorial. Here you can see a ton of Rattata come in, and here's Gary to serve the day with Blasters. Yeah, blah blah blah. Gary, who cares? But anyway, so yeah, I mean it's pretty simple. It'll get a little bit more complex now that I can show you how to do everything. Right, like right there, when you defeat a Pokemon, you'll gain like the Poké Dollars, um, and whenever your Pokemon gets enough experience to level up, you have to buy their next level, basically. And each level, it's more and more expensive. Which means, in addition to experience like level grinding in this game, you're also going to have to grind for money. So that kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, here I'm finally gonna be able to catch a couple Pokemon. I think. You're gonna want Pokemon here at the very beginning just to be able to get past some of these levels. I mean, it makes it a whole ton easier to get past some of the levels. There you can see I clicked on him and it showed Tackle and Growl. That's his attacks, and it'll let you pick which attacks you want to use. Obviously, I'm using Tackle here. In this game, most of the like stat boosting moves and stuff like that, they're not too useful. Not gonna lie, but some of the like the status inducing moves are useful. The reason the other status like the stat boosting moves aren't that useful is because it like you would have to constantly be clicking back and forth between boosting your stat and then changing to an attack to actually utilize that stat. So it makes it kind of, I don't know, just kind of inefficient to use stat boosting moves. Here you can see there's a lot of stuff going on because my people are leveling up very fast from getting a lot of experience here. Um, this level's a little bit hectic, but it's there's a lot of rare candies, so it's not too big of a deal. Here you can see, I think I'm actually going to finally be able to level up some of these guys down here at the bottom. Actually, I guess it runs out here. Basically, Team Rocket mesmerized this guy, and now he's trying to. You gotta defeat him. He's gonna bust out of it here in a second. No big deal. You gotta kill his Pidgey. If they have a blue health bar, they're considered like a boss Pokemon. Oh, I actually lost there. That's funny. I didn't think I would lose. But anyway, if they have a blue bar, they're a little bit stronger, harder to kill, and you can't catch them. The Pidgey, not too big of a deal. But later in the game, in some of the levels, you'll find some of the boss Pokemon can actually be a pain in the butt. I think the very next level, you're actually going to see some of those pain in the butt ones. Or maybe it's the level after that. I don't know. Whichever one is the Verdian Forest. I'm not sure if it's this one coming up or the one after that. But anyway, yeah, so, I mean, it's pretty much rinse and repeat. You set your guys out. You're going to... On this level, on the first couple levels, it's not too important, your placement. I mean, you're probably going to end up having to move your people around a little bit just to keep up with the waves of Pokemon coming. But as your Pokemon get stronger on the first couple levels, you're not, like, you see there, they didn't even get to that first little kink in the path, you know? So, really, it's not a big deal for the first couple levels where you're placing in your strategy. You can pretty much just use attacking moves and be fine. However, I'd say starting at the Verdian Forest, you're going to have to be a little bit more tactical with how you play this game. So here at Route 2, again, not a big deal. This one's actually, in my opinion, easier than the last level. So, yeah, just a little bit of story going on here. I really enjoy this game. The only problem with it, though, is that the developer supposedly is going to be releasing, like, hopefully a level a week. The new level hasn't come out yet, so you can only go up to Mount Moon. And that kind of bummed me out because I really wanted to go a whole lot farther in this game, and you just can't. So that kind of sucks. There's also a level cap at level 20, which kind of sucks because you can level grind higher than that. And, as of right now, like, I can only get to a certain evolution, with, like, my starter. Like, I can only get to Ivysaur, or I can only get to Wartortle, and that kind of sucks because you want to get some of your guys, like, you'll be able to catch, like, Mankeys and stuff like that, and, you're not going to be able to evolve them, so that kind of sucks. But anyway, yeah, also there's an addition to this game. Here, the reason this one's so easy is because his Pokemon actually attack with you. I'm assuming his Pokemon are really weak, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, this is crazy easy. So here you can actually catch. This is the first chance you get to catch something like a Weedle. I think I do end up catching. I'm not going to catch a Weedle here, but I'm going to start catching some of those bugs in the Verdian Forest, and they're going to come in handy then. But as of right now, you don't really need it. Anyway, what I was saying is that he's actually added the Pokemart to this game, and basically the only thing you need the Pokemart for is stones. There's a couple Pokemon that you can evolve with stones. You don't need to evolve them with stones in order to be able to win this game. Like, you're not going to lose if you don't have a Raichu or you don't have a Nidoking. But it's just nice to be able to have that. It significantly boosts their stats. So the stones are really, it's a really cool addition. The only problem with it is you have to have 10,000 credits for it, so you really gotta grind for some money. But when you're level grinding, you're gonna get pretty close to 10,000 by the end of level grinding if you get a whole 6-man party up to level 20. But anyway, this is the first difficult level. So the reason this one's difficult is you're gonna need a 6-man team, and they're gonna come in from both sides, and they can remove the rare candies from both sides. And there's only 3 rare candies. So what you need to do here is start catching a team. I pretty much just start catching the first ones that come up, and I'm just gonna start using them. Here you're gonna have to start level grinding a little bit on this level. I mean, there's no other way around it. That's just how it works. You're gonna lose the first couple times, but as soon as your people start getting a little bit stronger, you get a good team, at least a decent team. It's not a big deal. But right now, I already know I'm gonna lose this round. So basically, what I'm doing is just trying to catch a variety of Pokemon and grind my people up. And my basic strategy for this level is actually to let them carry the candies off to one side. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you guys later.